color, it contained no oxygen, and during the summer months, it smelled terribly. It had once teemed with fish, but they were finally driven out, with the exception of a few eels that were able to survive because of their ability to get oxygen from the surface. Now, it had also once had an abundant bird life, and these had also been driven out, once again with the exception of some swans and some ducks that were able to survive not because of any natural food source, but because of the spillage of grain wharfs. Well, what can happen though when man works together with nature for the common good, when pollution is stopped or at least greatly reduced? Well, within 10 years, those same reaches of water that we just described, how horrible they were and sounded, they became they went from virtually being devoid of life to abounding in life again, even becoming a refuge for many species of water birds. So we see that the earth, given the right recipe, can heal itself. Another example can be seen in the Spanish province of Cantabria. Now, in Cantabria, they had a world-renowned iron ore deposit. Now, this was discovered by Celtic miners many, many years ago. And it was exploited for centuries by the Romans, and then right down into our modern times. And with the arrival of the Industrial Revolution, modern machinery was used to demolish what was left of this mountain in order to recover this iron ore that was left there. Well, finally, in 1989, after some 3,000 years of extraction, the mine finally closed its gates. It was described at that time as looking more like a moonscape rather than a landscape. But local officials were determined to change this. They brought in landscapers who worked hard to repair the damage that had been done over the centuries. Within a few short years, thousands of trees were planted, new topsoil was brought in, ugly holes were converted into lakes, railroad tracks were made into footpaths, and then finally, specially selected animals were placed in large enclosures to complete this transformation. Now, what's notable in all this is that their success depended principally on the earth's natural ability to heal itself, given sufficient time and the recipe that it needed. So, what do we learn from these examples? Well, the earth shows us that it's not beyond repair. It's not doomed if man's abuses are stopped. Now, some in the world might feel, well, that's where the problem really lies. How are you going to stop man? Well, we know that we turn to God's Word, the Bible again. Notice the promise that we are given, Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. True hope for this planet, for our future. Revelation 11:18 says, "But the nations became wrathful, and your own wrath came, and the appointed time